better. Still trails though, 2 frames to 1.
Look like he can pot this, but he's playing it with right hand side. This is very missable. Tried to get the cue ball safe, couldn't really get enough on it, and an early chance for Stephen Maguire. And it's interesting now, the break-off shot, all of a sudden players sacrificing the cue ball being tight on the cushion for a better split of reds. And even though Ronnie O'Sullivan tempted there, perhaps it's worked in Stephen Maguire's favour. Now only 2 reds loose. Not the nicest pack to go into. Very difficult to predict how these would come out, but I think possibly if he screws into them, he could release the cue ball to the right hand side of the table. Just released to the right hand side of the table. Has choices of reds.
8.
May well choose. I said may well choose. He's walked down the table again. Has the possibility of a long red into the yellow pocket, depending upon whether he can screw back through the gap or not for the black. Well, that was a lot more difficult than it looked. Not just in the pot, but also keeping good control of the positional side of the shot. And he was teetering on the edge there of going behind that red. Still the main pack intact. Or certainly all in each other's way anyway.
Oh, he's got up twice. Can he see enough of this black? Yes, he could. And he's controlled the cue ball nicely. He needs to be straight on this red if he's going to play for the black again.
16.
Straight enough. Well played.
17.
Do you know, this is a very awkward pack of reds that requires a pretty strong split, should that be the shot he's going to play. Cue ball's going to come off the top cushion, and if he decides to go into these, he needs a bit of help, a little bit of luck as well. It could easily go wrong. He could stick on the reds. He's got choices of reds into middle pocket as well, should he stick on the reds. So he'll have some sort of shot, but let's see what happens. Well, he chose not to go into them. There must be one that goes through the gap there. It's not easy to see on our screens. Perhaps 24. The one by the pink. Wow, that's helpful. That certainly didn't look like it went, did it, on the television, John? I don't know about your commentator's eye, but
25.
Well, he picked it out nicely. It wasn't straight enough. He'd have loved to have been able to pot that and run through for the black once more, but had to screw back up for a baulk colour, and now he's got to play another good positional shot here. There's only one red, the one on the left-hand side of the table as we look, that looks the obvious red to get on.
Yeah, as it's turned out, I mean, he may well have been better off trying to split into the pack then, because this is a bit more difficult to go into them. He's using the green. Is he playing position, or is he now attempting to split them? Well, it's gone wrong, and you can count himself a bit unlucky.
28.
But I think if he had his chance again, I wonder whether he would have considered splitting the pack of reds off the black. Still, it's gettable, isn't it, this red in the middle? It's a judgment shot. He'd be disappointed if he missed it. But it's a lot thinner a contact than it looks on our television screens.
Stephen Maguire, 28.
Well, I don't know whether he said kick or he just didn't hit it hard enough. And was it a kick, do you think, that took the pace out of it?
No, I don't think it was a kick so much as he was trying to retain control on the black, and he was frightful of hitting it too hard.
Yeah.
As it is. Don't suppose Ronnie O'Sullivan could have believed his luck.
1.
Well, yes, that's what you'd love to do, isn't it? Come out of your seat with a nice, easy starter.
So there's a red nearest the black that's potable, but does Ronnie O'Sullivan refuse that for going into the reds? Cue ball's running away just a fraction, but he can pot this red and screw into the back of the reds, or run through into the back of the reds and keep on the black.
Yeah, it may turn out to be advantageous. He's playing the screw shot off the cluster after potting this red, and he's played it absolutely magnificently. I mean, the action he gets into the cue ball, just the timing of it is just unbelievable, and he's finished perfect on the black. The reds are everywhere. What a chance for 3-1.
Got to say, John, he makes that shot look so easy. As we mentioned before, though, these cloths are very reactive. This shot was
14.
a lot easier than it would be on your club tables. You can't expect the same sort of reaction, but even so, deliberately screwing off the pack,
15.
deliberately skewing off the cushion for ideal position, not just general position, ideal position. And this is why this player is so dangerous amongst the balls. Maximises every opportunity.
22. 23.
'And this really would be a body blow for Stephen
30.
Maguire. Certainly on orange alert, if not red alert now.
31.
3 points the lead. Perfect on the blue. 5 reds in the middle of the table, and even the one near the right-hand cushion isn't that difficult to get on.
36.
And Ronnie knows the importance of this frame, as did Stephen.
37.
Changed his mind. I think he was thinking of screwing on and off the cushion, but he only has to play a little screw for a red in the middle. Well, he's going on and off the cushion. That cue ball travelling that little bit further, you're not guaranteed ideal position, but of course the way the reds
44.
are nicely situated, you'd rather play for the black, but it's up for the blue. That's okay as long as you get the right
45.
angle, and that's judged to perfection. .22 points to lead now. These 3 reds in the middle
50.
of the table with colours would be more than enough.
51.
So is it the same shot as before, screwing back across the face of the reds? I'll tell you what, it's a lively piece of wood he's got there. He seems to be able to be
58.
screwing back at will, effortless.
Yes, and he's cueing so nicely, isn't it? you know, the harder you hit those type of shots, the less reaction you get on the cue ball. But if you got good timing, you give every chance for the backspin to take effect, which he did at the start of this break when he potted the red and screwed off the main bunch.
You were mentioning earlier in the week, John, or I think it was yourself and Willie Thorne, talking about it seemed like the cue ball was a bit on the light side, but I don't even know if this is the same set of balls even.
I think actually I heard the same comments. I think that was coming from Willie. Well, you know, Willie, he couldn't really play many screw shots, so every time he sees a good one, he thinks it's a light white.
$74.
Well, we were saying in the first frame that Stephen Hendry held the record of centuries made at the Masters, 41. In the first frame tonight, Ronnie O'Sullivan equal that. Can he go one better? He's a chance.
$75.
Yes, and the most centuries at the Masters in obviously a shorter time period as well. You struck that very nice. Has it got the pace? Yes.
Well, absolutely exquisite. Really was. I think the standard we've seen here this week so far, Steve, has just been mind-blowing, really, hasn't it? Well, what a pity. He'll be disappointed with Ronnie. He doesn't understand it, but he'll be happy as he goes to the mid-session interval. He leads Stephen Maguire by 3 frames to 1.